Hi, this is Nick Plizzi from The Sacred Science, and I'm here today with a man who is known throughout the United States, Mexico, and Europe for his powerful teachings on matters of the spirit and essential wisdom on how to live a more awakened life. He's a recognized master of the Bön Buddhist tradition of Tibet and the founder of the Luminous Institute, which now has over 35 centers around the world. His name is Tenzin Wangyal Rinpoche, and today we are going to be delving into a topic that is at the core of the inner healing path. We'll be discussing how to turn your pain into the path. Rinpoche, it's an honor to be here with you today. How are you?
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much. Very happy to be here.
You're in Berlin right now?
Yes, I am in Berlin, and actually I've been here for the last 5 weeks now. Today is my last day. I'm flying back tomorrow to San Francisco.
Oh my gosh, you travel quite a bit, right?
Yes, I do a little bit. Yes.
So can we just kind of start with this idea of, in the Western world, we sort of try to resist and hide from suffering. We do whatever it takes to not have to deal with our stuff, to not have to feel that discomfort. And can we just start with something really basic and just talking about how the path really is about turning towards that and understanding it better?
Sure. So I think let's say in the Bön tradition, in the Tibetan Bön Buddhist tradition, which is very much based on spiritual path practices, ultimately, hoping, working toward liberation or enlightenment. In order to do that, clearly Buddha was awakened because of recognition of his own suffering, his own pain. And in our teachings, particularly the teachings of what we call Tantra, like a path of transformation, or the teaching of Dzogchen, the path of great perfection, these two approaches of school talks more about transformation of pain, or one talks about the liberation of pain. So it's kind of a little bit different. We give sometimes metaphor of like a poison plant. So if you are a doctor, then you would transform that same plant, boil it, cook it, dry it, whatever you're doing, and mix with something else, and then that whole substance, the poison itself, becomes a medicine afterward, after you transform it as a doctor. So that some humans, some of us, we prefer that way, that approach, where so somehow we work with our body, we work with our energy, work with our awareness, and trying to figure out to change that same emotions, raw emotions, into pure energy, into a wisdom. Mm-hmm. And the other approach is like a more what we call peacock approach. The peacock approach is basically not the approach of the doctor, which peacock basically eats it. So it's not trying to change anything, just eat it as it is. And peacock is able to do that because peacock eats the poison. So peacock, poison does to peacock is just basically makes stronger, more healthier, more beautiful, more, the feathers the brightens and so on. So somehow the second approach is that we are also capable of really transforming our pain simply by being present, simply by being awake, simply not judging it. I always give a example of my phone, which is here. I said, if you use the hand, if you look at it like this is my awareness. The metaphor is this is like awareness. And this awareness is not trying to change anything, this object. It's just basically, it illuminates the darkness, it illuminates the object, and it does, regardless of how long 1,000 years of darkness or 1 hour of darkness, this light does not ask questions, does not distinguish anything. It just illuminates equally. So our deep inside our awareness, when it also turned back inside yourself, that we call self-awareness. So all your areas of sense of darkness, it is able, basically, it's able to illuminate your inner wound, inner darkness, inner conflict, confusions. All it's able to illuminate just being purely conscious of it, rather than manipulating anything with your conceptual mind, which is what very often in the West. So sometimes, you know, people, there's a lot of talks about a positive thinking, law of attractions, and somehow it's like, of course, you know, what you think all day, what you're trying to attract, that will definitely attract. But somehow also it's some kind of little suggestion there that if you really wanted to be rich, you just have to desire, think a lot about become rich. If you really wanted to achieve liberation, then you have to think a lot or desire a lot or want a lot, and then you will achieve liberation. That's totally wrong. So you, in a way, how we enrich our life, how we awake ourselves is not by conceptualizing, manipulating our thoughts and emotions. And it's not about that. It's not about conceptualizing with our thought, in manipulating with our thought. It's more being aware and conscious with our what we call non-conceptual awareness, non-dual awareness, or pure awareness. In Tibetan we call rikpa, awakened awareness. So being more aware of that, I think that's something I think is very less spoken, less understood, and even sometimes some great teachers speaks about them, and it's very inspiringly speaks about it. But then it's inspiring to hear it and feel the presence of somebody speaking about it, but still not have any clue what that is. So that is also going on a lot. So I think so. This is basically two main approaches where that really like you just what it is, whatever the pain it is, without suppressing it, without avoiding it, going directly into it, recognizing it, it can become your path.
So this seems like a natural thing that we would, as humans, want to do. You know, using this pure awareness to see the world, and using this pure awareness to look within ourselves and heal ourselves. Why is it something that is not really very natural in us anymore? Is this something? Was there a point in time when we as humans were pretty much living this way, and we've kind of moved away from that, or is it something that really is not inherent in us humans and that we actually need to try for?
Yeah, I think probably, you know, one of the reasons maybe is that because in deep inside we are that awareness is so unfamiliar, that what we call unbounded space, the openness, is so unfamiliar. So we are so familiar with bounded self. We are so familiar with our conditions. We are so familiar with our comfort zones, our limited point of view, and we see through them, we exist through them, we operate through them. So idea of, you know, something else, it's probably is a little bit too much. So if we wanted to do anything, we wanted to do with the same pain, like the same thought, same concept, to go break it. I mean, it's a little, and to be a peacock is difficult. To be a doctor is easier. But the third one, which I did not say is before, what we call path of renunciation, which is what most of the people do, run away from it. Like a child, like an ordinary people who is not doctor or who's not peacock, the only thing you will do with the poison, run away, hide it. Put it somewhere nobody can touch it, especially the children cannot touch it, so that if otherwise you die. So basically we, instead of pain becoming a path, we die we suffer through our pain. And I think, that's one thing. And another thing is also people who have some sense of little bit experiences of awakening, they do have this awakening of when they are able to connect with themselves, like at least for like stabilizing themselves, calming down themselves by focusing on their body, what I call 3 precious pills or 3 doors. So by bringing attention to their body, for example, and when you bring your full attention to your body, and then you can just feel a sense of stillness. If your body is still and you bring your attention to there, you feel that stillness, and then slowly you rest there. And when you rest deep enough in that stillness, that stability, that connectedness, that groundedness, it makes you stronger, basically. And when you feel stronger, you're more likely able to face your pain. Because from that place of stillness, from that place of boundlessness or little less boundaries, you are much more open, you feel much more confident, able to see something directly. So when you look at something directly, like your pain, in that very moment, the view of the pain is different. People say, wow, it doesn't look that bad. Wow, I feel okay with that. I can live with that. I don't feel the pain. I feel free. I can still enjoy myself. I can still feel joy even though I'm feeling sadness. I can still feel some sense of trust even though I'm feeling fear. I can still joke even though I'm feeling a little depressed. But somehow able to experience their own inner quality even through those pains. Because that's kind of really the magic there. It's kind of, when you get to that place, you're able to see both at the same time. In our teachings and practices, we call integration. We call it ornament, because your pain becomes ornament to you. Like a poison becomes the medicine for the peacock. Your pain becomes it makes you strong, basically. I sometimes tell people, look at your life. How many times you have suffered? Even though you don't want to suffer, we suffered. And how many times, how many pain have made you grow? Made you recognize, make you discover things, make you understand things, make you realize and enrich your life, make you be more careful. How many times the pain had enriched your life? And people look back, they said, of course, there are many, many times it happens, but not that often. But very often what happens, pain just remains pain. Pain sometimes destroys you, weakens you, discourages you, you lose your trust, you lose the ability of creativity. So you lose all those things. So in those cases, pain just becomes complete waste, complete kind of more like a damaging situation. So pain has this both quality, and we kind of need to really trust that pain can be your best friend if you want to be.
So this word pain is really interesting to me, because it feels like it's more one of those blanket terms that is kind of slapped on a lot of different more intricate sensations that we might be feeling as individuals. And I wonder, in your tradition and in your practice, is there a way of drilling down and getting past that one word? Because that word it's a pretty negative word, and it's sort of like covering up a lot of sensations. Like when I had terrible migraines for a while, and one day I decided to really experience the pain, and I realized it wasn't really pain. It was just a lot of different sensations trying to course through me at the same time. And when I started actually trying to understand them and appreciate them, the pain was kind of I untangled it, and it got rid of my lifelong migraines. And I see pain as something a lot more intricate than this one word.
I think maybe, also when we think about pain, we think not only physical pain. So that I think it's important. You can have psychological pain, conceptual pain. You can have more emotional. You can have physical. So pain has much more sense of open. Let's think about like a physical pain, for example, right? So let's say I have some problem in my chest, for example, and usually our relation to the pain is that in my chest or in my heart chakra, usually I don't draw attention there, right? I ignore my heart area. Right? This is the location. I said, okay, it's there. I know it's there, but I don't pay attention. I don't bring my connection there. I don't bring my sense of peace. I don't bring my sense of warmth, gratitude, gentleness, a sense of being there, sense of, this is my favorite example, just my awareness, just bringing attention there and just illuminating that heart chakra with my awareness. And that very moment, this awareness has power to open my heart. Awareness has the power to heal the pain. We don't do that. But what usually we do is we basically, when not bring attention there, only time when we bring attention there and when we are in pain, we say, oh, what is this? Immediately, very negative kind of look toward your heart, toward that location, toward that chakra, energy center, negative location. If it happens again, then fear, then anxiety, then kind of getting angry, upset, and then basically at some point even say, I hate this pain. I hate my heart chakra. I hate, and no, you don't literally say that, but that's kind of attitude you have. So if you think about this area, when you look, I said, I hate this pain. But the pain is very much related to this area, this experience, the sensation there. And when you say hate, you're hating yourself. You're hating that location. You're hating that. Nobody likes to be hate. So I said, that some sense, I think, makes the pain, makes the sickness, makes the blockages worse. So what we usually say is look at that, like we say, give a spacious, luminous, warm hug. This is the term that I use, hug. Okay. 3 things I say: spacious, luminous, warm hug. Because these 3 things has a very unique quality deep in the philosophy, in meditation, and also like it's like a medicine. Because spacious, it has to do with opening or openness. So space, if you're not open, you will not give a genuine hug to anybody unless you're open to that person. So you got to have openness. Only people you give hug is you're open, you feel connection. So you need to be open toward yourself, that sense of I am open to myself. I am open to my heart. And I am particularly open to my heart because my heart is, I am not well in my heart. So, first quality. Second quality will be luminous, spacious, open, that's the space. Luminous is the awareness. So again, so this is it. This is the awareness, luminous. I mean, here nobody can avoid the luminosity here. But when I do like this, light is still shining there in my heart. I'm aware there, but people will not see it. So that's the second quality. A warmth, when you're open, when you're connected, there is a warmth. The warmth, the quality of warmth, sometimes it's like a heat. Sometimes you can think in the big terms in the yoga, they talk about kundalini, awakening. Sometimes it's like a kind of medicine that really like the warmth is like a medicine where you produce in the body through the movement, yoga, breathing. These heats, this warmth, physical heat, energetic heat, psychological, emotional warmth, they are like medicine, pure medicine. So when you bring these three qualities toward your heart, your pain, that very moment, it began to shift the energy, because you can just within a minute you can feel it's shifting that energy. It's shifting your relation to it, because you are not avoiding it. You are being with it. You are being present. You are being aware. You are connecting to it. And when people do that, we have done some researches that people have reduced their pain like over 30% of pain within period of time, couple of weeks. People have physically, they're able to reduce their physical pain. It's not just psychological pain, but physical pain. So it's really, really powerful.
So if somebody has a lot of pain, some people have, they have pain in their body, they have pain in they have depression, they have, deeper pain, how do you, as someone who's starting, it's easy for us to say, pain is the path, here's how to do it. But where do you start? If you're someone who's just coming, say you're watching this right now and you're like, okay, this sounds really great, but I wouldn't even know where to begin with this. How do you start? What's square one?
Yeah, so maybe what we can do is we can do maybe short guided meditation. So
Yeah,
that
that'd be great.
people can look this short guided meditation as exactly what you would do if you're by yourself. You just listen to this, or you will just remember to do this, and that will be fine.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So first, sit comfortably. Whatever the position you are in, comfortably. You can, if close eye or open eye, whatever you feel comfortable. Maybe close eye for now. Bring your full attention inward. Maybe take 3 to 5 deep conscious breathing, and through these breaths, release it out, whatever you're holding this very moment, any discomfort in your body, any energetic discomforts, any discomfort in your mind, whatever discomfort you're feeling, just breathe it out, deep breathe it out, and end of the exhalation, connect to yourself and rest deeper. Repeat 3 to 5 times. Be aware of the stillness in your body. Rest. Be aware of the silence around and within you. Feel that stillness. Feel that silence. And rest deeper, deeper in that stillness and silence. Now, just for a moment, be aware the challenges that you are facing this moment in your life, or if it's a physical pain or particular sickness, be aware of that. So either it's physical or emotional, be aware of those pain that you are facing. Maybe some of you are avoiding it, some of you are trying to deal with it, but finding it hard. Just this for now, just look at that pain or challenge, either it's physical or emotional, from this place of openness. You are open to it. Because that pain, in a way, it's your identifying with that pain. In a way, that pain is asking help to you. So being open, being aware, and being caring, like a warmth toward that pain, self-compassion from that openness, from that awareness. Like you would be gentle, be kind, be present with someone, your best friend. If your best friend is in pain, you will be present there, you will be gentle, you will be kind and sending warmth. But do same that toward yourself. So I repeat these qualities, specific qualities, being open to it, being aware and connecting with it, and sending this sense of warmth. I call it a spacious, luminous, warm hug to that pain. Either it's a physical or emotional, or self-compassion. Just hold that, connect, and continue being there, connecting, being in that warmth and connecting continuously. Just feel this continuous sense of being very open to it, very aware and connected to it. There's a lot of warmth, the healing of warmth you're sending toward that pain. Toward yourself, like you would do towards your best friend. Continue. Okay. So, one can, of course, we did a very short session here, but you can just go on for another half an hour like that. Like just begin with kind of resting in your body, resting in that stillness, resting in that silence, resting in that spaciousness. That means resting in your body, your speech, your mind, what we call three doors, and rested enough that you have different view. You see differently, you see more clearly. Then you look at through your pain rather than kind of ignoring it. When you look at it, you see different. It's different. If you rested enough, you see it differently. It's a different view. And from that place, when you see more open, that openness is there. When you see more clear, the presence is there, that awareness is there, that luminosity is there. When these two qualities there's a naturally a sense of warmth is there. So you're holding, it's like you're giving this beautiful hug toward your friend who is most needed that moment. And just kind of holding that hug, presence of that beautiful hug. You're holding toward your friend. Same way, you hold that same beautiful quality of hug with so much space, so much light toward your pain, either it's a physical or emotion. So when you do that, you will see response from the emotion, the response from the pain. Well, you will see the differences. It's like the same, like your friend who might cry tears of gratitude, tears of joy, tears of connection, tears of being helped. Same way, your own sense of inner self, the pain identity, inner wound will also kind of, maybe you feel tears coming out, maybe you feel the healings are coming out, maybe you feel like you're really supported. And for different people, they might different experiences, but all experiences it sits around the sense of being acknowledged and connected rather than ignored and disconnected. And healing then it taking place.
Yeah. Even as we were doing that, I had a little bit of pain in my neck, and I was like, okay, I guess I have something here I could work with. And just giving I've never heard you talk about the spacious, luminescent, warm hug. And I was like, just doing that. And there was information. It just gets, there's like information that comes back at you from that pain, and it was pretty amazing. Like a lot of times it's more like a deeper, the way you're living your life kind of information. Like, oh no, you need to there's something that you're missing here about your life, that the pain wants you to sort of understand. It makes me wonder, what is the pain? Like what is the pain? What is it?
Well, the pain is basically, it's a manifestation of disconnectedness from yourself. So for example, let's think about like a sickness, like something that manifesting in your body. And then that sickness is basically coming out of like a negative, over long period of charged negative emotions, stress, tensions. It's kind of producing that, what we call negative poisons. Like let's say heart disease, for example. I'm not saying that every heart disease has to do specifically follow that route, like the many cause conditions together. But let's give me one example will be bad heart condition could cause by, and people say, there are findings that they say that it caused by also loneliness and anger is risk factor of heart disease, for example. So loneliness is emotion, anger is emotion, but the reason why you get angry, that you have another reason why, in the first place, why you get so often angry is because you're also, maybe you feel world is after you. You have to protect yourself. And you have to, you look at all the political climate, today's political climate, a lot of anger. And a lot of anger is because people feel they have to protect themselves. But anger does not protect. Anger destroys things, but nevertheless, our human natural tendency is to get angry to protect yourself.
Yeah.
So you, why you need to protect yourself? You feel unsafe. Why you feel unsafe? Because you don't know who you are. You are identifying somebody who you are not, and because you need to protect that who you are not, and then it becomes a threat when you begin to have some glimpse of experiences of who you are. So this is deeply, it's rooted to the sense of disconnectedness, lack of knowing yourself, having pain identity, causing negative emotions, causing the sense of anger, loneliness, causing physical condition of restricting breath, and causing the heart problems. So it's kind of really like it goes kind of from space to energy to physical level, you know. So in a reverse situation also you do that, you know, like you're trying to bring the awareness space which is lacking. Heart needs space, right? So if the arteries are blocked, that's where the heart attack happens. If emotions are blocked, that's where you don't feel the warmth, you don't connect with somebody, you don't fall in love, you don't feel love. So you need to have a space. But in the meditation also, one of the most important part of the meditation is to create the awareness of the space. So that's why spacious, luminous, warm hug has deep philosophy, like lot of literature, deep philosophy, unbroken transmissions, traditions are all this around there.
Spacious, luminous, warm hug. It's an amazing new bit of wisdom from this talk. Rinpoche, so you and I we're gonna do another one of these talks on June 20th, and we're gonna be kind of taking the next step on this idea of turning pain into the path. Is that and you know, what do you think we'll cover in that talk? Where's the next place we're gonna go?
I think probably we'll see the feedback from the audience and see what people are asking, and we'll base on what collective energy of audience, whatever there seems like are interested to hear. It's possible we'll just continue from this on and do another session of meditation. And it's possible also we can talk about working with the fear, which is one really like important element of the pain of our mind. And so that would be, I think that would be good.
Great. So yeah, everyone who's watching this right now, just know that please leave your comments right into us. Let us know how you're feeling. Let us know what you want to know more about, and we will make sure that, you know, we try to cover what your questions are in the next video.
Yes. So and you know, like you know, I'm happy to come on next week, and also, you know, I've been also doing the Facebook teachings on Tenzin Wangyal Rinpoche on my Facebook Live, also a number of other teachings. So also welcome to join there, and I'm looking forward for the next session with you.
Great. Rinpoche, how do they find you on Facebook? What's the page?
It's a Tenzin Wangyal Rinpoche. That's their name on the Facebook page, and so they are. I think there's a kind of you will see if you click there, then there will be informations about now next June 6th. So it's an interesting number, 6/6 till 8/8. So June 6th through August 8th. Every week, every Tuesday, we'll be doing teaching on a dream yoga on Facebook Live, and also this will be translated into 17 languages.
Wow!
And if anybody around the world, if you feel like English is not your native, there are other options there too.
That's amazing. Dream yoga.
Yeah, it's a dream yoga. Yeah. So basically, everybody who will be participating in there will be committed to next 2 months, following the instruction, practicing every night before you go to sleep, applying. So 1/3 of our lifetime we follow sleep. So average 20 to 25 years you sleep. So usually these 25 years of lifetime that you don't know what's happening, this is the way to find out what it is and what you can do and how you can even grow and heal in dreams. And so that's the idea.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm signing up for that immediately. My dreams are crazy. I was trying to figure out how to better work with them. So that sounds incredible. Well, great, Rinpoche. It's an honor to be here with you. It's always a pleasure talking with you, and I cannot wait until we meet again next month to go deeper into how to turn pain into the path. This has been really beneficial for me, and I'm sure people watching are really grateful as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.